Hey, welcome everyone. I think we're getting some stuff worked out here and just making sure we got everything behind the scenes ready to go. I think we're going to get started here in a couple moments. My name is the Sir Archibald, and I've got Steve Hacks here. He's the creator of the randomizer and the head wizard behind all the magic that goes behind the actual game and the logic in the background. So.
Howdy, we're in for hopefully a good race. The gates are down, so we're up and should be starting any second now.
But yeah, if anyone's new here in the chat and just not familiar with the game or anything like that, we'll try to do our best to keep you all up to date with everything like that. Try to explain any kind of new changes that have kind of happened since the last tournament, and that's been about 2 years since we did it, since everything kind of got started. So, but tonight should be a good race. We've got 3 veterans here and 1 newcomer in Mashama. So we got some a young gun versus the 3 old ones. So should be a interesting one to see if the Rook can pull it out.
It's true, but everyone here has been putting in a lot of good practice time. We've been doing daily races, and I can tell you they've all been beating me every time. So these are some good players.
And looks like they're off. So
We got a change start. It's an interesting. So normally we get some money from that apprentice, but this time we get an item. We change that to get a few more items at the beginning. See a few folks going by the store. Didn't actually catch what's in there. We got some warp boots. We got some medical herbs, so they'll have a little bit of transportation. And we see a sword of wind at the beginning. So there's a guaranteed sword in that house. So they're off to a little quicker start than sometimes if they don't have the guaranteed sword. Typical tactic is to go straight for this new cave we added. It's actually kind of ripped out of the GBC version. So this kind of this green background you might not be familiar with if you played the vanilla game. There's 2 chests in here and 2 exits. So that also kind of opens up the world a little bit.
Yeah, it's part of our standard kind of startup here, and just get some items to see what we kind of get. There's always right around that corner. You never know when there's going to be a mimic or 2, though. It seems like it always likes to pop up in these first 2 chests. So let's see.
Looks like a shell flute.
Yep, shell flute to start it off. So we got some access to the potential Dolphin. Uh-oh, there's some poison.
I didn't catch that other item, did you? Or was it a mimic?
It is a mimic. So
there it is. There's almost always a mimic there. I don't know why.
It's just because you love the players that much. That's how you set up that logic. I know it.
Yeah, something subconscious, I think. So there's an exit here with a wall. It turns out it's a wind wall. You notice that he's only got Sho's only got a level 1 sword charge. That's one of the changes we've made is under these options, they only need a level 1 sword charge to break the walls, and it kind of speeds things up and removes some of the battle assistance that they have. And so they get a lot fewer of these orbs and bracelets early on because they don't need it for progression. Makes the combat a little more challenging.
And we can see we're kind of entering over here in the pyramid, so we're actually going to go from the very start of the game back to the very end of the game. So we can already see that we're already accessing some of those later parts of the maps, and we'll see where some of this leads us. So I don't think
it doesn't help them too much because they need flight to get out of this area to get to the main part of the desert.
Yeah.
Or to get into anything in that other desert.
Yeah, so most of these people are just going to grab the waypoint, see if there's any warp boots for later, and hopefully they just have enough cash from the grinding as they made their way there.
Now, AxeMan's made it out the other exit, and that takes them to Goa Field, so the entire game is pretty much open. They've got the shell flute. One of the interesting things is going to actually change, too, so he's got access to Swan. He's going to want to see, is the shell flute going to work? And that's a tricky thing, is in these flag set, we've got some mystery flags. They don't know whether it's on or off, and one of those is the vanilla Dolphin. In the vanilla game, the Dolphin requires you to talk to the boat owner, give him the fog lamp, and then you can call the Dolphin. We've taken that out sometimes, and you can instead just call him right away. So he doesn't know if that's on or off, and we'll have to find that out at some point. First, they're taking a detour through Mount Hydra, though, and we see a windmill key. It's going to open something back up at the beginning.
So we're going to return to Go and probably not collect any more money from our game of Monopoly here of the Crystalis Randomizer. So
yeah, that is the only item they can get out of Mount Hydra without flight or some way to cross the rivers.
Yeah, it looks like Axe is going to go check out the Oasis Cave here real quick. We got maybe one item there real quick.
Always a good play. It's kind of out of the way, so they'll probably reset out if they don't like what they find.
But we know that Axe likes to make these kind of risky plays, so we'll see if it kind of rewards or if this is going to be like a quick little 30-minute time loss potentially. Or, excuse me, not 30 minutes,
Sho
30
just got
seconds.
up, but I missed what he got. He's walking back, so he must have liked it. He decided to reset out, and Axe didn't waste the time.
Oh.
Going right back, he's going to cash in that windmill key, and Tornel's going to find out if this Dolphin's good, and there he is. Our friend, the Dolphin.
I don't know, I think we need to come up with a name for the Dolphin for the randomizer.
I think we do.
I know with 6 guard, I know we call it Tuna Safe, but I don't know what everyone else calls him.
So Tornel's getting that Joel checkpoint, and gonna come back and head into Portoa, see if he can get that item in the waterway, and talk to the Queen, and get the item from her. Axe, meanwhile, checking out I did not catch that item. Checking out the windmill. That's gonna get him entrance to this cave and an item as well. And Mashama finding the mimic in the Oasis cave.
Yeah, if anyone's not familiar, we have the Wild Warp also activated on here, so if you see them going back to the start of the game, that's something that we have implemented into the game just to ensure that we don't have any kind of soft locks that players can get themselves into.
Looks like the Queen gave him medical herb, and we see what Zebu's got. Key to prison. So I wonder if we're going to have early entrance into Mount Saber.
Yeah, it's kind of making it almost a linear kind of seat, it seems like, almost for Axeman, as his path has been chosen.
Well, I don't know. We've got entrance into the Portoa area.
That's true.
There's Evil Spirit Island. You can't get too far without the Sword of Water, but I think we'll see a Sword of Water pretty soon. See comments in chat. This is a fast game. This is a very fast game. So Axe checking out this first chest fog lamp.
Yeah.
Now, so with the new Dolphin interactions, when you get the Dolphin with just the shell flute, the fog lamp will just get you over to the island where Kensu will give an item in a chest. We added that in, so the fog lamp is not useless. I think I saw paralysis.
Yeah.
They've got change in paralysis. That might suggest we might see something with what's his name? Kensu in Swan.
Yeah, but also give Axeman a little bit more of that kind of combat skill, since you can paralyze a couple people, which he just did to that golem.
Yeah, you'll see some nice moves from these folks. We got teleport, so that's always a welcome thing to find. He's no longer beholden to buying warp boots every single time he wants to go anywhere.
That's so sad. I like it when they have to grind some money. Get a little bit of pain.
Help us keep up with things.
Yeah.
It looks like Axe is making his way over to Zebu in his cave.
I agree, and I do. It's a baby seed for them.
I stand corrected. You'll also notice a few other improvements since the last time. You may have seen this on Speed Gaming a couple of years ago. I noticed the Axeman is playing as Messia, the game's heroine, as is Mashama. You also see that you can see the enemy's health as they're getting hit. So that's hopefully keeping up with who are these things that they're hitting? Are they almost gone yet? As a player, I've noticed it actually changes how I attack bosses quite a bit, because there's only a little bit left to do, and I can just power through it, or oh no, I have no chance now. So I've really been enjoying that. We've had a few volunteers helping out with the coding, which has been really nice.
Yeah, those volunteers are very helpful for even other features that we've been working on in the community as well. So big props to those, all those people helping out and grow this community even bigger every year. Access here on the vampire. He had some good dodging and ducking to make it out of that mimic part. Got the vampire one down. Not quite in the lead yet. Sho's out of the cave first, so looks like Sho's got a little bit of a lead for now.
Yeah, checking on the little swamp area or grass. Get a eyeglasses.
Yeah.
Does Axe have speed boots or no? Yes, he does.
I think Emma's...
Yeah, they do. They've got speed boots. I don't know where they got that from, but
yeah, I missed that.
They are really trucking now. So speed boots we put in the place of leather boots. That's been around for quite a while. Leather boots are kind of useless items. You get them at the end of the game, and all they let you do is walk through the swamp. So we kind of merged that in with the gas mask, called it the hazmat suit, and repurposed it for speed boots where you go super fast. Yep. Always a welcome item to find, especially if you're racing.
Yeah, I like what Sho's doing. He's really following the logic here. Oh, he can't quite make it up that hill. Maybe one too many tacos today, so can't quite make it.
Yeah, well, there is a kind of an unintended side effect. Was we found out that if you're going a little bit faster, you can actually walk right up that ramp. That was a neat little coincidence that happened when we added the speed.
But doesn't find the right wall, so logic not quite pointing him that way yet.
I did not catch what Axe saw when he talked to Kensu there, but Axe now knows what item he needs. Do we even have randomized trade-ins? That's something I don't even know yet.
I'm not sure yet either. I didn't check the flag set before we started today, but
well, it's a mystery in the flags, so they may be randomized, they may not be. They're not unidentified, so that's one thing that we saw. Fog lamp. So pendant. He's looking for a pendant. Looks like it's actually pretty vanilla seed in terms of some of these more advanced options. The walls aren't shuffled. The trade-ins aren't shuffled, I think. The items are identified. So they should actually be pretty quick with this seed, it looks like, is my guess.
Yeah, we
Unless
might
they can't find those swords and bows, who knows?
Yeah, so really, I think with that early teleport and stuff like that, I feel like we got to find some axes up to North Saber here probably in a little bit, since he will be weak to that wind sword potentially.
So this setting has patched out the glitches that allow access to Saber without teleport and telepathy. Normally you need both of those items, but there have been a number of glitches that racers have found or speedrunners have found to get into these places early. But most of these glitches we've patched out. The only ones we've left is the statue glitch, so they can kind of walk behind statues. You may see some of that in this game. What other glitches are in? You can get around the shooting statues as well with flight. And that's another one that was not intended, but you'll probably see them doing that at some point rather than using barrier. And there's telepathy. So Axe traded in the fog lamp, boated over, and got telepathy from Kensu. They now have access to Saber North. Axe is going to go and trigger that the kidnapping, I think, is my guess anytime now.
Yeah. Although he doesn't have the right sword.
He doesn't. He's going to have to go all the way around.
He's going the wrong way. He's gonna hurt.
Well, he hasn't talked to Zebu yet.
Oh, that's true.
And that's actually a prerequisite. Looks like Tornel is in. Yeah, he's in Saber West.
I'm going to give a quick shout out to Speed Gaming. We got another raid party of 92, so thanks for joining us. We'll keep you all up to speed for all the Christmas action coming your way.
Tornel making good use of telepathy to take out that sorcerer who's named Bert, in case anyone's not sure about that name.
I mean, part of this community, we have come up with so many different names for all these enemies. It's kind of funny to see the actual standard names that the game actually intended in the actual manuals be displayed on the screen. But as a community, we like to have fun here and there. So you might find some tomatoes, you might find slimes. Who knows? Bert and Bertha, who knows?
So you may have noticed Tornel just walked around and touched the back of that wall, and he just got the Sword of Water, and that opens up this game drastically. We've got access to some Portoa caves, we've got access to most of Mount Hydra now, we've got access to Evil Spirit Island. This game is now wide open. As I was saying, the touching the back of that wall, normally you're intended to just shoot through the wall, walk through it, and that'll trigger the kidnapping and leaf. And that opens up the way to Mount Saber. You can see Sho over there is trying to get through I don't think he realizes that this glitch is off.
Oh
And
no.
so he's trying to find that path the vanilla game has. You can walk up in 1 pixel and get through there. But that is close to him right now. He's got to trigger the kidnapping instead.
Like Axe
He's going into... He's going to... Wow. Sho is powering his way into Oak. Healing up through that swamp.
Oh man, he made it a little close there on that first herb.
That's herb number 3. Not too bad. So he's doing some out-of-logic plays here. Get that checkpoint, and that's going to open up the fight with Stom.
Oh, but he doesn't have telepathy yet either.
No. So he's way out of logic here. But he wants to see what... Maybe he doesn't want to see what Stom has. Axe doing the Rage turn-in. He got the Sword of Water. That's what Rage wanted to see. And he's going to trigger this little Messiah recording. Of course, he's playing as Messiah, so it's a little bit of a doppelganger there. But that's going to have the Portoa Queen move into the back room and get that second item from her. As well as getting a hint from what he'll find if he calms the sea. On the way back, he's stopping at the Carissa Plant Cave. It looks like, is Tornel, he's in...
Evil Spirit? Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a good play. Picks up an ivory statue. And battle armor.
It's the first to get some armor, so that'll help with any kind of combat that we may potentially come into. So how defenses kind of work in this game is either you can get hit by projectiles, or you can actually walk into someone, or as Kilbesk, one of the bosses, will like to kind of run you down and give you a big bear hug. Just show his love to the Crystalis runners.
Oh, we love our linebackers. So Tornel's coming out on the zombie town, while Axe is ending up the medical herb in Carissa Plain. Not, or Carissa Meadow, I guess.
Yeah, nothing.
Sho, really meanwhile, taking advantage of that oak checkpoint that he won so dearly, and got a fruit of power for it. Not what he wanted to see.
No, not at all. You can only think whenever he's going to make that Dio check and get that next sword, because that's really what we really need to get back into opening of the seat up.
Nice, distant. You saw that from Axe over there. That was a pretty sweet snipe for that bridge.
That's a pro move right there.
And he's just too fast. I don't know how he reads so fast. That's how he wins the races, I guess. I saw I got a magic ring from Asina, broken statue from the Dolphin, but I have no idea what we're going to expect on the sea. Only Axe knows that. So that broken statue, normally you use the glowing lamp to reassemble it to the statue of gold. You know, that's kind of boring. So we reassemble it into who knows what. Once they find that glowing lamp, we'll get some random item, maybe a magic out of it. Who knows?
Was that a flute of lime on Tornel's side, or was that just the fruit? I don't know. I think it was something lime, so I don't know exactly what it was. So it could have been useful, or it could have been completely useless, in our opinion.
I don't think I saw a flute or a fruit in his consumable line. So Axe now getting into Evil Spirit Island. Maybe if we pay attention, we'll see the item from him. Was that from the vampire?
No, that was the chest right before Sabera.
So Axe just picked up the hazmat suit, so he can now actually make it in logic to Oak.
Yeah. So it's seeming like Oak may have some kind of good item for potential progression. Who knows, maybe some flight action. That'd be kind of fun to see on the actual child check or something.
Yeah. Those Oak checks are so far out of the way that a lot of racers will put them off. And when they've got something important, that can be the deciding factors, whether you chose to take it or not. I know I, for one, always do them last.
Same.
Well, Tornel's going right in there. We'll see what we got here. He warped out of the Sabera fight, found out that his sword was not going to cut it. So the bad news is we're going to need either Sword of Fire or Sword of Thunder. I think this was the first boss we've seen so far, so it's possible that we have also vanilla enemy weaknesses, which would mean it would be fire. But who knows? That was another mystery flag. We don't know if those weaknesses are shuffled or not.
Like Tornel's kind of the first and kind of our guesses of where logic's kind of pointing us. So he's getting this first child check here at the city of Oak. We have 2 checks here real quick, and we'll see where they kind of lead us.
Sho talking to the fortune teller. He came to the queen a little later and did something that triggered, I think it was probably getting the ball of water, triggered her to actually not be in her room. So he had to go and talk to the fortune teller to get her back.
So we get the love pendant, so now we have that trade-in over there in Swan, and just a consumable in the Elder in Oak.
And I think Tornel knows that, doesn't he?
I believe he has been through there.
So he might just hop on over to Swan right now, do a real quick trade-in, or not. This is why he's the one that wins the races, I guess, though. Because he's got a plan. Looks like he's going to Amazonas. Check the basement. Does he have the Curse plant?
He has change, but I didn't see a Crystalis plant yet, so...
Oh, skillfully paralyzing the guards. We didn't have to waste the time to glitch through there.
Just a medical herb for his troubles, so... Nothing there, so... Heading back to Bryn Mawr. I don't understand that one quite, unless he's going to go up there and do the Stomp fight since he just hadn't done it yet.
Yep, that looks like it. He's heading right up there. I don't know if he's got any warp boots to use to skip the fight.
I think he just used the last one. I think he forgot to buy another one, but we'll see here. Maybe we'll see
No, there it is. Not the best routing, because of course now he's in Amazonas, but oh well.
Still got the job done.
So Sho is now glitching his way into Chiron. I think he's the first one to Chiron.
I believe so, yes. So we'll get one check here and see what they have.
Yeah, Mashama's right on his tail, I think. Did you see what he got?
Medical herb, so nothing there.
So now that they've got the sort of water, they've got almost all of the right side of Mount Hydra open to them. Everything except for that last check that normally has a bow of sun in it.
I mean, I'm still pointing at this Kinsu. He's always the jerk in the seeds, it seems like, so... Who knows where logic points us today.
Well, I don't think we've seen the Kensu Swan check yet.
Nope, not yet. But it looks like Sho's going to go a little bit further up the mountain and do a couple checks and see if these... He does have the wind sword, so he should be able to open these walls and get 3 more checks up here on the mountain. Oh, those mummies are trying to give him a hug real quick and say hello.
Well, now those bears are throwing their heads at him. I'm sorry, ice golems. Was that refresh? No, that was not. Recover, maybe? I don't know. I didn't quite catch it.
I didn't quite either. It's been so fast, though. Oh, and it takes a death, so we'll have to go back and get that.
Well, unless he doesn't want it. I mean, comparing Mashama's inventory, I'm going to guess it was recover. Oh, okay. Cool. So Bob Doe says it was refreshes on the Angry Sea. So it must have been recover.
Mashama takes a death, too. Hydra's becoming the death mountain of the Crystalis game today.
Axe just picked up barrier. That's a nice find. A little bit of defensive spells for all those projectiles and the boss fights. Also useful for the tower.
And I guess if anyone isn't too familiar with the game, this game did have a checkpoint system, so it does revert you to pretty much whenever you did change a specific area, it will reset you there. You don't lose your entire progress. Pretty advanced for NES back in the day, so it's always it was a really nice feature to have whenever we play this randomizer.
Yeah, this was one of the last generation NES games, so it's got some great. Oh man, Mashama there is just getting battered by those mummies.
Oh man, over and over. That's a rough good death right there.
The towns in Overworld tend to be the checkpoints though, and there's like one cave or two, and so the good runners will keep track of that and know exactly where they are. One useful thing about knowing the checkpoints is if you happen to get a status ailment, you can do a checkpoint and then reset to cure it. Question in chat with Tornel just got flight, and I don't know, but we might see it pretty soon because if he does, he'll be jumping all around. Looks like Tornel's in the fog lamp cave.
Fog-like cave is just one of those long caves. It's very tedious. You can have anything happen to you. It seems like it always has items or enemies that can paralyze you, and just make you go back to go and just come back and redo it again. One neat thing that we kind of implemented in this one, which we haven't quite gotten to, is the waterfall cave does have a hint system in one of the statues that will indicate this cave and the Carissa plant cave, which is to the south of it, and builds on a hint system based on item criteria and classifications. But we'll eventually see that, so we may not double dip and look into that hint too much, but...
well, the problem is they don't have a Sword of Fire yet, so they can't get to the... They've got the Flute of Lime, so they could get the hint that way, but they can't have the sword to get to that spot in the cave yet. So they're going to have to just dip the cave, and we did see they got flight, so that's Axe and Tornel both have flight now. And the end of this cave, we'll see what we see. I did not catch what Tornel got at the end. I assume he got it. Those bridges are always dangerous. You never know what kind of enemy will be hiding under there.
Yeah, there's always something hiding around a corner. You just walk into it and you don't know what happened. And sometimes you may just be dead instantly.
I mean, you can always kind of wait around outside of it and see what's moving around. It's a little bit of pixels that show up underneath.
Yeah, so far I think the MVP of this seed so far has been Paralysis. Axe has been using it pretty consistently to get really good combat skills and avoid some potential damage from enemies and everything like that. So,
well, but now they've got flight, you can also fly over a lot of the enemies, and they're going to be doing that a lot more now. But they have been doing a lot of good job with Paralysis and making good use of it. At this point, between Axe and Tornel, this could be anybody's game. They are kind of neck and neck here.
Now, there's one thing that I'm kind of shocked that we haven't found any kind of bow yet. So there's still 3 bows in this game to get us to the actual end game. So they could be anywhere in the map so far, since we have access to flight. Really, a lot of items and checks out there.
3 bows, 2 more swords. That's all the go mode they need. Well, plus I guess they got to find some way to get into. No, they've got everything, right?
Yeah, I think they got the key and
they
everything.
They can get into Mount Saber North, so they can fight all the bosses. Looks like Axe is gonna get those orphan checks in the Oasis Cave. He's got 2 more checks there. Now he's got flight. He can get access to Goa Fortress.
And Tornel takes a paralysis right there, but he's got 1 charge saved up. Just enough to get through it. And he's trying to get poisoned real quick just to make sure he can continue through the cave. And it's not behaving with them.
he unequipped his battle armor at least. Battle armor, of course, is immunity to poison. The number of times I've sat there trying to get poisoned, and well, I've got battle armor on, that's why I'm not poisoned. And now I'm dead. So, you know, like I said, these are the skillful players. They know what they're doing.
This warp boots here for Axe in the Oasis check, but still got the power ring spot in there, so still
yeah,
one
we got
item.
a little French vanilla bow and moon there up the top of Mount Hydra.
I like it. Mr. Spokes, I believe it is story mode.
Yeah, that's right. So they've got to still fight all the bosses. We haven't seen a single boss go down yet.
It looks like Tornel's going up there. Oh, I thought he was going to go and see if he could go through the first level of Goa, but decides not to.
Axe has had quite a while without any progression. He's been at scaling 20 for quite a while. So he's looking for where is that next item.
I mean, I already called it, and no one's done it yet. It's Kinsu and Swan, and no one has checked it yet. At least I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, they've got the... Well, I mean, Axe just got the love pendant, so we'll see if he makes that check. Tornel making his way into the pyramid. So there's 3 checks here. There's a treasure chest, and then 2 items after fighting Dragon 1.
Yeah, and I like this play too, so, I mean, always seems to be a top check for myself when I'm running through this. There's the Orb of Fire, so that's a little bit of power, but not quite the sword yet.
Well, so as Spoke was saying, this is story mode, and so you've got to fight all 8 major bosses. This is guaranteed to be required by the game anyway, and so it's always a good check to make. If you can, get your bows and swords from required checks rather than extraneous ones, it's a lot more efficient that way. Here we are. So Axe is making that Kensu check. We'll see what he's got. Sword of Fire. Way to call it.
There you go, right there. It's always the jerk. We like to call him Kinsu.
So Axe is going to take that Sword of Fire right up to Sabera.
So that means Axe is going to get another boss down here in Sabera whenever he goes through here, at least based on our assumption that the vanilla interaction is on for the bosses. So we'll see. This is always a fairly tough fight, but he's only at level 6, fairly low scaling, so shouldn't be too bad since he does have barrier.
But it is going to be a stab fight. But now we can see with that HP display, she's going down pretty quick.
And that's an A+ fight right there. That was excellently, perfect execution.
So Axe gets rewarded with an opal statue. Opal statues are, you see those 2 at the end of that first row there. They give him a 1 res if he dies. So it's a useful healing item to have, especially if he doesn't have refresh yet.
It looks like we got Tornel heading up to Saber, so we're going to be able to go see Kelbesk here in a little bit as well. And Axe and Tornel are just kind of taking different paths, and probably will meet back up again at the end.
So Axe taking out Sabera. Tornel's going to go in and hit up Kelbesk 1 to see what's up there.
Now, what I'm really pulling for is he gets to that prison check and finds that Sword of Thunder and just warped out of there and just has to go back and redo it all again. So if anyone's pulling for troll seeds, let's see if we can make that happen tonight.
That Sword of Thunder is quite the troll. I don't remember if it's a mystery Sword of Thunder or not, but I feel like every time I play these flag set, I end up getting trolled by it. So maybe it's always on. We have an option that Sword of Thunder doesn't warp you. And they just, they're not wasting any time. They're going to fly straight up, and they're both going against Kelbesk at the same time. Axe taking the victory first. And I missed what he got. Anybody catch that?
Power Ring. So that's
that's a nice find. And a Warrior Ring. Wow. Kelbesk has really got those items. So they take out Kelbesk first, again, because I think that is the required check. Might as well just go and do that. And now he's going to find the other 3 checks on the mountain. So 1 here at the back of the prison, or the lower prison, just a mimic. Tornel's not even wasting time with those checks. He's just going to go straight for something else. Probably Goa is my guess.
No, not quite yet. He might go to the backside.
That's what I'm saying. Backside of Goa.
Oh, sorry.
They can't get to the front side because they don't have sort of thunder, so they can't trigger the massacre yet and break that wall.
Another mimic.
Nope. Tornel's going for that Oasis Cave. 2 mimics on Saber. Did you catch what? No, Tornel did not like what he saw on that battle armor item island.
Yeah, I think it looked like some warp hoops. I think since we already have teleport, that's really useless.
And he can't make it all the way into the power ring check, vanilla power ring. So he's just gonna go back and check this spot.
I feel like this is the second time he's seen this mimic.
Yeah. Oh, he's struggling here a little bit.
Yeah, he's having trouble. I think he's forgotten that sort of fire at the Kinsu area. But maybe he'll see him on the backside here and realize, oh, that's right, Kinsu's in this game, and he will like to play some games.
Well, here's pulling for a third mimic on Saber North. Lysis plant, almost as bad.
Now, I do believe we have the Irish statue here, so we will get the next Kinsu check here in the back of Goa.
So the astute observer will notice that Tornel came out on the wrong side of Carmine's floor. We have, since the last tournament, switched up the ordering of the Goa floors, and so they will happen in any order. They can be reversed, so you might have to go back to back on bosses. But he cannot get to anywhere further in there because he has no Sword of Thunder to break that iron wall.
Oh, and
he's going to get that Sword of Fire now.
I hope so. Yep, he is. Still pretty shocking we haven't found a fully upgraded sword yet, so... really, it seems like all the swords are really going to fall in order before we even get some really powerful abilities to combat any of these bosses.
Now, if I remember correctly, I think the bracelets are actually guaranteed before you have to fight the bosses with them. These runners are not going to wait for it at all, but I believe it is actually guaranteed with logic. So if they look around long enough, they could find them.
I feel like the only place we haven't really seen too much that we have access to is probably that waterfall cave now. And that will be about 3 items there, potentially, to see what we can find.
So Tornel is going through Saber the back way. He's going to be disappointed with what he finds here. I'm not really sure why he went that way, as opposed to just going right back up the front, but oh well.
He may have just been there in Porto and just walked his way up.
Axe going to find out pretty quickly that there's no progression in Goa from the back way. In fact, he should nope out right now. There he goes.
Yep. Not something we see commonly. It's always we have access to that backside, and most of us just always go that way. It's just not today.
No, it's the hope is you get one of those gold mines like the basement, Carmine's basement, with 7 checks if you get the sword for him.
Oh.
Axe heading to this waterfall cave now, so hopefully this is going to have some good progression for him. We got, I believe it's 4 checks in here because he's got the Flute of Lime.
Yeah, and then he probably won't even check the Hinsons, and so we probably won't even see that part.
No, we won't. He's already gone through the cave. The hint's no good for him at this point.
Oh, an insect.
Was that insect flute? That was.
It was. Man, who rolled this seed? It's a doozy.
This was mine.
I'm liking it.
I'll take credit for that.
Oh, nope, we did get to see it. So whenever you talk to those 2 statues for the second time, it does throw a little hint there to give you some guidance for those 2 other caves. Usually it is pretty helpful. It can eliminate probably a good solid maybe two-minute kind of check if it doesn't pan out to anything of any kind of value. So we got 2 more quick chests here. We got an antidote and the last wall, and we'll see if he grabs it.
We got Dios.
Yeah.
Nothing too useful here, but not going to reset out of it or anything. Was there progression somewhere else there?
I don't think so. I haven't really seen much progression at all of that, at least as of now, outside of that insect flute, so...
Yeah, he's still at scaling 28. So for those who are less familiar with the... Oh, okay. We got from the chat that Akon had Boa Truth, so he's not going to be resetting out of Boa Truth.
No, not at all. And I'm guessing he looks like he may have gotten some kind of maybe the key to stick.
No, he's just going to get the Boa Moon from the Boa Sunspot.
Okay, there we go.
There is still no Stixie access yet. They're looking for maybe an alarm flute. They got 2 checks there if they can get the alarm flute. What else are they missing? They got to find that Sword of Thunder.
Let's see. They have a gas mask, don't they? So they can fight the insect?
They do. Oh, Sword of Thunder on the insect. That'd be genius.
That'd be juicy.
Yeah, not sure what's up with the pause. Sho could be thinking, or maybe you need a quick break.
Wait, so was Bow of Truth on... Oh, Akahana on in Waterfall?
In the Waterfall Cave.
Okay.
So it was a required Fruit of Lime seed. Looks like Axe is going to go up and get the Vanilla Tornado Bracelet spot. Has he not done Saber West at all yet?
No, because we didn't have... We got here early and we didn't have the Fire Sword. So yeah, we haven't not even touched any of these checks.
I didn't even catch it. Yeah, Axe went up and got his Bow of Moon. Psycho Shield. Another welcome find. Now he's immune to paralysis and stoning, but unfortunately not to curse, so those warlocks are still trying to slime him. He's going to go down and get the other, I believe, 3 checks here. He does not have the Tornado Bracelet, which is what Tornel's going to want to... sorry, the NPC Tornel's going to want to get the item out of it.
Oh, don't speak too soon. You still got those 2 checks. You never know when it might just be about a couple feet away from the actual person who needs it. So.
And there's the Boa Sun. We've got 3 bows. All we're missing is that 1 sword for Go mode. And of course, fighting some bosses that they have access to at that point.
Yeah, so Axe is definitely feeling pretty good so far. He's got a fair edge so far, at least.
Absolutely. Well, that was not a ball of wind, so they're going to have to double dip this if Tornel's got something good. Though the only thing Tornel could have that's good at this point is the Sword of Thunder.
Tornel's right on his heels, so he's gonna get this check as well and go up the mountain as well. So we'll see if there's anything good in this last check here before Tornel in the Tornado Bracelet spot.
Just the 3rd Opal statue. He's not popped any yet. Tornel is walking around as a slime, so that's kind of fun.
Hey,
trying to get that Tornado Bracelet and.
Oh. Ooh, I did not know that. I guess you cannot guide your shot from being a slime. So that's interesting.
Oh, yeah. How about that? Usually the only thing we ever fire from a slime is a Thunder Charge to kill a dragon.
Yeah.
Looks like Axe is going to go for that insect.
I feel like this has to be the play and probably the progression. We're getting very slim on the number of checks that are actually available still.
Axe showing off with flight. It's a strange strat. Don't usually see that in vanilla.
Is he gonna get stuck up there? I've never seen that before in my years of playing this. I didn't.
Nope.
It seemed like he was almost stuck up there for a little bit.
No, it works. And that was not it. So Tornel's got his third bow now. He's going to dive the crypt.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
I'm actually kind of shocked that he hasn't done that yet, since he usually likes to play these seeds quite risky. So most of the runners have been played pretty conservatively, at least for this race so far.
Well, we'll see if Tornel decides to dive the crypt before going into the insect. I mean, crypt is actually 2 checks, insect is 1.
See, Mashama still has not found any kind of bows. Hasn't gotten any bosses done yet, so we'll see if he finds some good luck and some items here in a little bit. So,
I mean, he's got access to a lot of these items, or a lot of these bosses now. I mean, he's got, I think, both of the Saber access and Evil Spirit. All right, here's I missed the first item, but maybe it wasn't what he was looking for. It certainly wasn't Sword of Thunder.
no, but we definitely have seen that, and he'd be out of there most likely.
But this has got to be it. There it is. Sword of Thunder in the crypt. And Tornel's going straight for the crypt, so Tornel's going to make up some time here.
Yeah.
Right on his heels.
Probably about, let's see, that was roughly about 45, 30 whenever he picked it up, so we can kind of get a good gauge of how far he's ahead right now.
Yep. So at this point now, they're go mode. They just got to go through and take out these bosses. And this is a very, very late Goa access. So there's some routing questions of how do you route through this? He's going to trigger the massacre and then go straight to Chiron to kill Mado 1. Interesting choice.
Yeah. I mean, all you can hope for is maybe getting some bracelets to help with bosses as we go through them.
Well, those bracelets have got to be buried in Goa, I guess.
Or here on Mado. Well, I mean, this could be... If they're in logic, this has to almost be the tornado bracelet, right?
That could be the case. Did Axe trip over Stom? As a Lysis plant. He has to give up a magic ring for it.
Tornel's picking it up at 46:40, so it's almost about a minute 15 that Axe has a current lead on him.
And here's Mashama getting his first boss kill. And it looks like Sho also hasn't got any boss kills yet.
Good to see he's back now. He may have just had some internet issues or who knows what.
Feline issues.
Yeah.
Axe checking the our pal Bro Kahana, Akahana's friend, which is now triggered by completing Mado 1. A little more sensical than the vanilla trigger. And now he's going to go and do the real Goa forwards. First floor is Mado's. So we'll get to have a little deja vu fight.
Yep.
He's going to just... Oh, Fruit of Lime. Nice to see he's going to take some time to meme. Gonna stomp all over that fruit. Only thing to do with the Fruit of Lime.
Yep. Mash it up and make some margaritas for the rest of the seed.
Some key lime pie. Especially when you got the Psycho Shield, there's not much that Fruit of Lime's going to do for you. We've just picked up a Sacred Shield as well, so now he's going to be immune to Curse for if he wants to switch equipment. And we're going to go right into Mado 2. Not even going to stop to check those other 3 chests. Because who needs them? He's got Warrior Ring, he's got Power Ring.
Yeah, he's
really
got more than enough firepower.
No bracelets.
I wonder why Tornel's running over here to do the power ring spot. I don't know what he's looking for. He's got all the bows.
And
Unless
he's
he's
got
really
that sword,
just...
huh?
Yeah, unless he's really just looking for some bracelets to potentially maybe help the last Dragon fight, maybe?
Maybe.
I mean, this
Well, we'll see what's here.
that
It's a
could help
mimic.
some, maybe.
So this is a rough Mado fight, but Axe has had 3 Opal statues, so he's not really too concerned about it. Looks like he switched to Power Ring, so we can do level 2 charge shots rather than
Get
the
some
Warrior
stabs.
Ring approach.
Yeah, grab some stabs in there too, so...
Axe is a big fan of the stab strats.
They're
And here
risky.
Tornel's going backwards, so we'll see when they cross paths. Next floor up is Sabera 2, and again, skipping those checks, going right for that boss. Oh, no, pick up the shield ring first. Because it's on the way. So he also does not have the flame bracelet, I don't think. Although that is level 3 sword. Which sword is this? Oh, he's got level 3 fire. So power ring all the way.
Yeah, it should only take about 2 times with it to knock him out, so this will be a fast fight.
Never underestimate Sabera's defense. Oh, you're right. Two flame shots. And definitely switching right back to that speed boots. And here Tornel's going to go for Carmine. And Axe is going to head on over to Kelbesk. So very, very quick tour of all these bosses. When they're not looking for items, they can really breeze through these floors.
I'm surprised he hasn't put back on his speed boots just for this run, because that's a long ways to trek.
Didn't he? He is going pretty slow.
It seems slow to me.
I did not catch what Tornel found on Carmine, but he may not have really cared. And he's going for the power ring.
There we go.
You know, I try to stay as far from Kelbesk as possible. You know, warrior ring all the way, but it is a faster kill. And here they are, crossing paths.
I mean, you know this race is all for the bragging rights for the rest before we get the actual tournament going. So they're trying their hardest here. And you can almost imagine that they're both feeling kind of behind. I mean, well, actually, no, this has actually been a pretty quick seed, only about 51 minutes, so we may actually break the hour.
We might. He's still got a... Actually, no, he's got... This is the last boss, and then he's going to go right to Draken. So I think Tornel's going to suffer a little bit because he does not have that flame bracelet. He went back through the direction. But he'll have a maybe slightly easier fight against Mado too.
Oh no. Axe gets slimed here, now he's going to waste another opal here.
He should reset. It's a checkpoint. Without the opal, he's down 2 opals now. He's going to have a slightly have to be a little more conservative in the tower.
Yeah, he's only got that 1 magic ring too, so.
And not even going to check that the top chest. He's going straight there. He's assuming Tornel's right on his heels. Pick up a bunch of medical herbs, and by a bunch, I guess I mean 2, and in he goes. So he's level 11. I don't think we've got full tower scaling. So it shouldn't be too bad. But he's definitely on the lower side of resources here.
Yeah, I imagine he's going to try to pick up at least 1 more level before he makes it into the tower here real quick.
He's got about 4,000 experience to go. I would not count on that.
He might.
The way he's been skipping checks, he's going to go straight in.
Yeah, we're at that 39 scaling, so he may opt out of it.
May depend on what he finds. Those warlocks are absolutely on the do not kill list. So Tornel here doing the slightly harder Sabera fight, but not too bad with that warrior ring. And since he's only got Thunder 1, Axe is going to go for the Fire 3 strats. Is the obvious play here. It's the only bracelet he's got.
Did grab that extra level, so we'll give him a little bit more damage there before the last fight. So 12 was kind of the key level for most of us entering the tower, it seems like, whenever we get some scaling on us.
I don't know, I usually go for 11, but that's probably because I don't know what I'm doing.
That's everyone's preference. You just never know.
I'm just impatient. No spokes, that's mid-rounds is we're going to add the max scaling, so it's going to be a level 39 tower. A little bit easier than if it was max scaling.
So it did get by with just two shots of that fire sword max charged up.
I think I was about to start explaining and saying that for folks that aren't familiar with it, the scaling is just the way we keep everything relevant in the game. That number right below the level, the 39 there on Axe's screen, is how hard the enemies are. And as every unique item you get increases that a little bit. The enemies get harder, they give a little more experience, a little more gold, and the shop prices also kind of adjust. Get a little bit of inflation on the items, and it turns out deflation on the armor. So some interesting economics there for those who want to think about that.
And Axe combining power ring strikes with some also stabs and barrier. He's making quick work of these last robots on these levels.
I didn't get the time on Axe getting into the tower, but it was probably about 55, and Tornel's, again, right on his heels. He'll be maybe a minute or two behind.
Yep.
Axe loves stabbing those robots.
He loves it. Very good at it, too.
But it is a fast technique if you can pull it off.
I don't think I've ever mastered it. I've tried it a couple times, but I ended up dying on like even the first level. I just can't do it yet. It looks like Sho's gonna get some armor here in that shield ring, or that psycho shield, so he's gonna start getting some defense here, so it may help him out. Battling Mashama, so we have another veteran, and Rook battling it out to see who's gonna come into that third place kind of seed, so see what happens there.
Yeah, I'll say Sho has put in a lot of work to really bring his game up. Back in the last tournament, he and I were kind of contenders, and he's left me in the dust. Looks like Mashama's gonna do that crypt dive. Maybe, although he doesn't have Boa Sun, so actually maybe he's just doing the Dragon 1 fight.
Or maybe we just didn't get it
Yeah,
tracked.
he might have missed the tracking. So there we go.
Crystalis.
We got Crystalis going and Dragon 2 going down simultaneously. So Tornel is one tower behind Axe.
Yep. And don't blink. This last boss is going to go down in an instant. So
with barrier, he's kept his level 3 strength, and once that eye opens up, Dinah's going down. And we got some GGs for Axe right there.
Yeah, it was a very good GG right there.
With 58-21. We'll see if we can get Axe and in a minute Tornel into this chat.
I mean, I think Tornel's going to be really upset that he didn't get that Kinsu check earlier, because it was definitely available. But even Axe had access too, so they were fairly neck and neck for most of this. But overall, I think they both played extremely well.
Mashama picking up the Sword of Thunder. And that was a non-trolley Sword of Thunder, just noticed.
Yeah, it didn't warp him out of
Didn't
there.
teleport anybody.
Well, let's see if Sho knows how to warp out of there after he sees the backside of this Goa entrance and be like, oh, I can't get through here.
Can't say I blame him if he doesn't. I wouldn't.
No. I would hit that wall and shoot every sword at it and be like, wait, what just happened here? This is not fair. Let me through.
But Mashama's going to go right in there. We got a shout out to our man Jeff Peters, without whom Crystalis in the US would not have happened.
Nope. We would all be playing the Japanese version of the game and not knowing what every character's saying, so...
And thanks for the sub, Axeman.
Yeah, so it looks like this was almost decided within about 2.5 minutes between the two runners, so it's fairly close.
Yeah, we'll get a GG from Tornel any second here. It looks like Axe is on his way in. And that is, once he dodges a few more little pellets here, that's time. To official time of 101.14. So we had not quite a 3-minute differential there.
Yeah, but anytime we can get through any of these seeds in roughly an hour, the runner did a really good job of routing and just combat in general.
Oh yeah. Looks like we got
Tornel?
looks like Tornel's in here now. And Axe will be here any minute. So Tornel, GG's.
Jeez.
You sound a little upset that you didn't get that Kinsu check a little earlier.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm upset about that scene. Last location, like 3 or 4 major things that scene.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
we had
you
lots
and-
of trolls.
You and Axe were kind of neck and neck for that whole thing.
Wow. There. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
And yeah, we got Axe here too. So GG's Axe.
Yeah. Thanks. This was. I was not so sure about that. I was last location on a few things too, I think.
Yeah, I don't quite remember. Do you remember, Archie, of the what was the kind of the decisive thing that that Axe kind of pulled ahead with?
I think
it
he
was-
got the Sword of Thunder last, the last check, getting into the crypt first. I think that kind of set you that 2-minute apart, and then you just completely destroyed the Goa gauntlet and pulled the lead a little bit further. Probably got another minute ahead based on the combat that you put forth there. So
Okay.
you
Oh, you didn't waste any time doing those checks.
I was I really like had a when I went up the mountain because I had done Mount Hydra and without flight, and at some point I decided, wait a minute, Tornel's probably had flight when he did that, and so I had to check the top there, and I like almost passed out when I realized that was the.
Oh man, you couldn't just let that.
I couldn't have just gambled it, I guess, because I mean I needed it to get the Sword of Thunder anyway, so I was.
Yeah, I thought I'd get, slick and do the Saber North without using the key because I didn't have Sword of Fire yet. I was like, oh yeah, I got the good stuff from there, but then I got the key shortly after, and I was like, or Flight shortly after, whatever it was.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like disappointed because I wasted time on that, hoping it would give me a lead, but it didn't.
Yeah, y'all actually both entered there almost the same way and took different routes up the mountain. So y'all were pretty much neck and neck in that area.
Okay. I didn't get Fire Sword. I felt I got Fire Sword kind of late, or I don't know. Maybe I just, by the time I got, no, I believe I had Fire Sword after I had Flight and the key, and so
Yeah, I did too.
I wouldn't have been able to get. I guess I could have gotten the boss, but I was kind of like, well, they don't.
I did just the boss. Yeah.
Okay. Like that. I mean, that could have paid off if he had,
Well, he gave us the Power Ring and the Warrior Ring.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So that
If we just
that
hadn't
had been
gotten
useful.
The sword shortly after that, it would have been a lot more. If I could have gone to
Yeah.
Goa right then, that would have been a huge advantage. I couldn't.
And
Yeah,
Sho
that was
just
about
yeah,
the
right.
biggest go I've ever seen.
I
And
know.
Sho just did a couple of angry stabs there as he picked up his Sword of Thunder too. He was very mad at that.
Yeah, now we got everybody's in go mode, so now it's just a
Okay,
race to
good.
the finish. You'll be amused to hear that that Sho actually went into the swamp with a little hell run.
Really?
Yep.
Did not pay off for him.
Wow.
Yeah, not quite tinking the big bug or anything like that, the seed, but
Well,
maybe in future ones.
I don't know. We don't have any Tink logic. That was less of a fun option, so we don't turn that on too often.
No.
We'll just have to have our fond memories of was it Night Dew tinking that bug
We do.
for 15 minutes.
I was
Any
a
other
little
thoughts?
worried
Oh,
because
go on.
at the end, for the tower in the end, I only had 2 magic rings left, and so I was a little worried. But I guess so I used the warrior ring some instead of power ring once for part of the tower, but it ended up being plenty. Because the only bracelet I had anyway was fire.
Yeah, no, that was exactly the bracelet you want, though.
Oh yeah.
And I'm always impressed by your stab strats on those robots.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
I mean, this point I was at, I didn't really need to. On the mid rounds, I've been doing the stabs a lot more.
So another interesting thing was Mado and Sabera too. Tornel actually went in different directions through Goa,
Yeah.
and so so Axe got that flame bracelet before he had to fight Sabera, but Tornel got the blizzard bracelet before he had to fight Mado.
Yeah, exactly. I will
So
say it was a very entertaining race to see between y'all two.
Awesome. I was hoping for that.
Yeah, it was definitely a good race, good seed. I was a little disappointed we didn't have random item names. But...
That's right. Yeah, we kind of had a lot of the flags that could have been on are not, but we ended up having some crazy locations that made it interesting.
Yeah, no, there was a lot of very vanilla in terms of the some of the crazier flags. A little disappointed because get those randomized trade-ins or unidentified items.
Random
We didn't hear
walls.
any bzzz anywhere.
No.
Some discussion in the chat about the stat tracking. Bob Doe's been doing a lot of work. He's been doing our tracking for this race, but also a lot of work on the game for a very soon-to-be-coming version where it'll show a lot of stats at the end, sort of like some other randomizers. So we've been playing some test runs with it. It's not quite ready for showtime yet, but we're all looking forward to the day we can roll it out and see exactly when everyone got their items and how many times they died.
Oh, Mashama didn't trip over Stom. He doesn't quite know the gag of that yet, so we'll have to fill him in on that.
Well, he's still got a little time over Sho, so he's got to maintain that lead.
I know. See, is this looks like this is gonna be Sho's second boss here in Goa. And
He's not using that speed boots though. Looks like nobody picked up refresh. No one ever found the gold statue, or didn't want to waste the
I
time.
found it, but I didn't want to waste time on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only checked a few things once I got that sword. But I did find that very important fruit. So
We
that I could
appreciated the
stomp on
memeing.
we did. Actually, I think you were the only one that may have found it.
Oh.
I don't think I
think
saw
I
anyone
picked
else.
it up. I think it was one of those where I was full on consumables, and so I just didn't do it.
It was the broken statue combination.
No, I never got the lantern for that, or whatever. Lamp for that.
Yeah, Axe was full on memeing this game, so we appreciate it. Unfortunately, Stom wasn't in the chat to appreciate the trip.
Go down. There goes down Carmine. So 2 bosses down here for Sho. Sho, I know y'all weren't aware of this, but Sho did have a MIA for probably a good solid maybe 5 minutes or so. Maybe having some technical difficulties as well. So
Oh.
that time may not be 100% accurate.
Looks like Mashama's going to go for his level 13.
It's kind of surprising, because at that scaling, you're fine with 12.
It's all about confidence. He doesn't have healing. So, I can't blame him too much.
Well, did you guys like my new bird then using the statue to get rid of my slime?
I did the
that was
same
classic
thing.
right there. I was a little surprised actually, Axe. You could have just, reset out of that.
I could have, but I had like 3. I think I had 3 statues, so it's kind of like I'll just use one on this, or maybe I had 2, something like that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
I got
that
the
was your
Psycho
second
Shield
statue.
after that. I was like, if this is garbage, I'll just reset. That's what I was thinking, but I kept it.
I could have switched shield. I mean, I was trying the stab strats on Carmine, and I think he did his Nooper shot 3 times in a row.
Oh, yeah, I
It
did
was
stab
kind of
strats
like,
on him, but
what?
I didn't get any Noopers. I got lucky.
Yeah, and here's Mashama going in again at 42 scaling, so that is apparently the sweet spot. And I guess while we weren't paying attention, Sho has finished up his bosses, heading in. He's just a
Yeah.
couple minutes behind.
A bad death or something, or even not a bad death, just any death could give Sho a chance here.
I mean,
Yeah, if it weren't for that little pause, he'd have had it.
Yeah, he'd be ahead right now for sure, yeah.
And he might still make it, who knows? He's a level behind. But he's also 5 scaling levels, or 4 scaling levels ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like this is going to come down to the wire. This might be a good 3rd place little match.
We'll have to see who's got the better tower.
So it was like 1:12:20 whenever you got into the tower.
Although does Sho not have he's got bracelet, okay.
Yeah, I made a lot of checks trying to find bracelets that gave me a lot of scaling I didn't need. And I just got this bracelet from the boss. I was really disappointed. I would have had like 6 less scaling probably if I hadn't done all that.
Yeah.
Well, like Sho.
Yeah. I went in the front, and so I think the way it worked out was I like checked a few things, and I got the flame bracelet, and after that it was kind of like, all right.
Well, that was on one of the bosses, what, Kelbesk, I think?
Oh yeah.
And that was the last boss I did, so.
I think I checked like 2 chests. I don't know, like I think I got that shield ring too, since that's right on the way. But
Yeah, I got shield ring,
Troll
alarm
there.
flute, rabbit boots, a couple other things I didn't need at all, of course. But
yeah.
iron necklace, I think.
We've been playing those mid-round flags where we know we have full scaling of the tower, and so it's kind of
Yeah.
like, well, I think it helps on Dragon, but still.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, Joe's got to make up about 40 seconds here on tower, so I don't think he's going to quite make it unless someone does take a death.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, you never know. I've seen people trolled pretty bad by those helicopters. And with his scaling, he's just cutting through those brown robots.
He's also got level 13, which is pretty... gives you a
Yeah,
little extra boost.
He could be farther ahead right now, I feel like, if he hadn't bothered to get 13, though. He probably spent like a minute getting that last level.
He's about one floor behind. I think he was a little. He's gaining a little bit of time, but it's gonna be a little too late.
I don't know. Does he have any more magic healing for Dinah? Because that could make a big impact here. If he can't activate barrier.
Oh,
That's
does
true.
Sho not have barrier?
No, Mashama does. I don't think Mashama has barrier, actually.
Oh,
Or at
that
least
could
he was-
make a big difference.
He was flying over statues earlier, that's all I can tell you. Unless he just wanted to do that instead.
No, there's no barrier in there.
Oh, he doesn't have barrier, so that could be a big deal.
So this really could be a race.
Yeah. Joe's still got this if he can make it there. Or he has a chance, I mean. I don't know, how long does it take to kill the statues? Or the statues, the
Those
backbone?
side
Right.
pods.
Yeah.
Like, probably a solid 10 seconds or so each side.
If he's got some opal statues, he could possibly just brute force through here, though.
That's true. I don't know how many opals he has.
Looks like he's gonna go for those pods. Meanwhile, Sho's getting trolled by these helicopters, and wow, those pods are going down pretty quick.
Yeah, we keep forgetting we don't have full scaling on right now.
Yeah,
so.
if he's got low scaling and level 13
Yeah.
and power ring, that's pretty decisive, and that's gonna be GG for Mashama right there.
Close, man.
Official time of 1:16:16. And then the show's only got the Dynamite left, so that was a nice close match. Did not quite make it, but he was definitely making up time there. And awesome moves, Mashama, without the barrier.
Show.
Comes Mashama and join us over here.
And there's GG's for Show.
Ah,
Welcome in, Mashama. GG's.
GG.
Hey, don't sound so defeated. It's still a good race. Anything under 130 for this game is considered pretty good, in my opinion. So
I just didn't think Axe would show us up again with an under hour. I really thought it was an over hour seed.
I don't know how I beat an hour on that seed. That was, well, we had the speed boots.
Yeah,
I got the
that made
speed
it
boots and
difference.
teleport pretty early. That helps.
Yeah.
It was so back and forth though.
Yeah.
The swords were super buried.
Yeah, there is definitely some back and forth you had to keep track of. I think no matter how you did it.
Yeah, what'd you think of that crypt dive for the Sword of Thunder, huh?
Those are always fun.
yeah, we were expecting it to Trilio somehow, but I don't think we even imagined it to be in the crypt like that. So I think everyone here watching got to experience a true jewel of the seeds rolled by the yours truly, Steve Hack.
Nice.
I think I last locationed that too.
I think most folks did.
Wasn't even by choice. I just found the bow last. I was like, well, it's the only place I can go.
Yeah, I believe the Sword of Fire and Sword of Thunder was a last check whenever Logic pretty much pointed you in no directions at all.
Yeah, no, this was a pretty good setup in terms of the location. The flags themselves were not super challenging, but they made up for it with the item placement. For those watching, there's a lot of variability in how you can configure this randomizer, so we can make it a lot easier, a lot harder. This is kind of some average settings, and find it makes for some nice races.
Yeah, I don't know if Sho is going to make it over here or not.
He might not. I know he had stuff going on, so.
Yeah, so maybe Steve, maybe we can just kind of touch base on the tournament and give him maybe some details out or anything like that. I know we're starting to get to the process of getting it all geared up, and should start being able to see us here on Speed Gaming much more frequently over the next kind of week or so. Once we get all the details lined out, I know we have about 14 players entered in this year's kind of tournament. So I'll let you kind of explain a little bit too.
Yeah, this is the second tournament. It's been a little while. We had the last one back in 2020. So it's been a long time coming, but we're all looking forward to this. Last time it kind of ran a little long. We had double elimination and Swiss rounds and kind of drew out a bit. So we're taking a little shorter format. I think we're sticking with double elimination, but kind of a lot quicker. Should be starting in maybe a week or two, I think. We'll start with one or two seeding races. So we'll have hopefully some giant races with all 14 of us, if we can swing that, or else we'll find some other way to break it up and get those seeds. And then some head-to-head matches starting after that. Matrick is in charge of kind of running the tournament. He does that really well, and so we're looking forward to some of that. Some good commentary from some racers and some non-racers who just really love the game. So should be a really good time. I'm looking forward to getting my eliminations early. I'll just leave it at that. But we've all been practicing, and so we've got a lot of good talent. We'll see some interesting things that this game will hand it to us. So some crazy item placements, and who knows what this even is. Using these items, we don't even know where they are because who knows what they want. That's some fun features we get. Randomized walls shows up, and randomized boss weaknesses. Those are all kind of maybe in, maybe out. We don't know, and so the races will have to figure out what they're going to be. I think the first round or two, will have some easier flags, and then we start stepping it up, adding a few more glitches in optionally. And so that's kind of the case where the glitch may be patched out and fixed, and you can't use it, or the glitch may be required by logic. And so the racers will have to figure out are those glitches in or not, and really kind of stretch and use your brain in interesting ways you may not be used to. So we'll all be practicing that and enjoying it. If anyone wants to kind of join along and work in that randomizer yourself, kind of have some fun playing with it. Like I said, there's some easier settings, some casual flags you can set up in the website there that someone just posted in chat. We've got a really welcoming community in the Discord, so we'd love to have you. We can always find someone to help and give some advice if you're struggling to find your way that first time or first few times. A lot of folks will always be happy to hop in and walk you through it if you need it, or encourage you either way. And then, of course, we got the hardcore settings where I think... did you actually do one of those, Arch?
I guess we can say that. I like a little asterisk because I didn't feel like spending another hour or two grinding some magic rings to see in the dark, because we do have that, so caves can be turned out into the dark, and it doesn't make it too fun, but I think we've got about 3 people in the community that have gone through those hard sets of flag sets, so...
I'll show says who's available. Sorry, not to interrupt.
Oh, no, it's fine. But yeah, you can make this game as hard as you want, or you can make it as easy as pretty much a casual playthrough, and even have some buffed items too, so... looks like we got Sho here, so welcome in, and we're just kind of doing some quick intros and details about the tournament in the next week or two.
Yeah, so GG's. That was actually a pretty good time show, especially when you compensate for the a
Oh,
little bit
yeah.
of pause?
I have some guests over, and I'm trying to be a good host, and I had to do some stuff for work, so I took a quick pause.
Understandable. But yeah, anyone in the chat who wants to hop in, we're open, and for any kind of questions, and come join us for casual seeds. We do weekly seeds as well, so and have lots of new features that we've been developing over the last year or so since the last tournament. So come check them out.
Yeah, we do mostly nightly, or every other night at least, casual races, not necessarily restreamed, but just hop in and get those multi-streams and whatever to see how people are doing. Just kind of having fun playing with it. And we always welcome newcomers for that as well. If you just want to have fun playing through a seed, sometimes spend 4 hours on it and just kind of have fun together, learning how to do it. Anything you want to say, Sho, or anybody else about the seed?
It was pretty fast, considering.
Did you guys get barrier or refresh?
I got barrier and power ring.
Because I just had power ring. I was like, well, this is go mode, no refresh, no barrier, let's do it.
Warrior ring was right next to power ring.
Yep.
Yeah, I had that too.
I think I got barrier fairly early on. I could be wrong, but
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
No, Mashama missed out on barrier. We were thinking you might have
Oh, no.
that might slow you down, and Sho might have had a chance to catch up, but you managed to take out those Dinopods pretty quick, even without barrier.
Tower's usually a breeze. I know exactly what I need to be able to do it, and as long as I have an assemblage, I'm good to go.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Those pro players, they know what they need. They don't just kind of, wander around aimlessly like some of us do.
Yeah. Once I found flame bracelet, I was like, oh, that's all I needed.
Yeah. So I was like, please give me flame bracelet or storm bracelet. Please give me flame bracelet or storm bracelet. Like, I was ready to go. I had warrior ring. I'm like, I can do this. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
And then flame bracelet popped up. I'm like, all right, well, this is go mode. We're done. No looking.
Yeah. And pretty low scaling. I think it was like 35 or 36 when I went into the tower.
Oh, I had 42.
No.
But I was
Everyone had
desperately
42
searching
except for you, Sho.
Okay.
I was desperately searching for swords earlier.
Yeah, that Sword of Thunder. Thanks.
Yeah, that was some star placement right there. What did you think of that Stom check? Sure.
What did Stom have?
Absolutely nothing.
I think. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
oh yeah, we heard you.
That's right. It was like a fruited power or something like that. I did a hell run for it too.
Yeah, what was going through your mind there? What motivated you to do that?
Well, I forgot that. Well, I didn't remember that the flute, you could use it in the sea. So I totally blanked on that, and I was like, oh, you could probably use the flute. So I tried everything I could because I thought, oh, maybe this was one of those rare seas that we have to go to the back of whatever or do some silly hell run. And so, yeah, my brain shut off for about 5 minutes. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. I can go to the sea right now, or at least I should try it and see if the dolphin shows up. And of course it did.
Well, we enjoyed it either way.
So you're saying you had a Tornel moment with the flutes?
Yes.
For the casters, how many times did I die at Mount Hydra? Because that was starting to really grind on me.
Oh, I died a lot. That was annoying.
I died to Bert. It makes you feel better.
I will say I appreciated those paralysis strats. There was some good use of paralysis in the beginning of the game.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, I was really exploiting that.
People use paralysis?
It's really useful.
I used a gang of mummies to stone me, then all jump on me. That was not fun.
See, I paralyzed those mummies. They weren't gonna get me.
Tornel's learned his lesson about mummies.
yeah.
Oh,
I don't mess around anymore.
Roby. God, those mummies. And like it was just Psycho Shield, but I wanted the status resist, so I had to go back. I should have just left it.
Well, this has been a great race. Does anyone have any closing thoughts?
I look forward to it. So thank you, Speed Gaming, for hosting us. Sorry that I stood still for 10 minutes.
There was plenty of action to watch at the same time, so it's cool.
Yeah, thanks, and looking forward to the tournament.
Definitely.
Be sure to tune in. We should be showing up on the Speed Gaming schedule over the next few weeks. I'm not sure if we have another exhibition or if we'll just be going straight into those seeding races, but keep an eye out and join us in the Discord. Thanks a lot for Speed Gaming for hosting us. It's just the beginning, so we'll have a lot of fun here.